So we're going to take a look at your PowerPoint review. And this is Cathy Goodwin, and we're looking at Lisa's PowerPoint review landing page. First, I want to compliment you on coming up with the idea for this product or offer, because we really do need reviews of PowerPoint. A lot of times you can pay someone to write the whole thing, which gets pretty prohibitive. And as a copywriter, I do that sometimes, but not often. But you need to know both the layout, you need to know which I don't touch layout, you need to know the wording, and you have a pretty comprehensive package here. So it sounds like a good offer, and I think there's a need for it. I would start in the middle. In fact, usually one of the general guidelines about evaluating any kind of sales letter is the good stuff usually gets about at least maybe a third to a halfway down. And this is the heart of your presentation. This is your message. You are the presentation, and your slides should only enhance and illustrate your message so your audience can fully understand, integrate, and implement it. There are ways you can set it up so this poor little it isn't isolated in the middle like that, but you could do that. The headline would be not 10-point PowerPoint review. Your headline, that's the name of the product, not your headline. Your headline would be something about why people need this. And it might be something like, are you losing sales because your PowerPoints don't match up to your presentation? That's just a general way of looking at it. It might be a pain thing, like how to dazzle your audience with PowerPoint without becoming a techie or a writer. Those are, again, not particularly usable, but that's the structure you want. That's what you're looking for. And if you want me to look at this again, if you'll give me more information about what you do and your audience and your competition, we can tighten it a little more. So I'd start down here. So what I do is have a headline up here that speaks to the need and the benefit. And I would not use this kind of a headline. It's clever. This is not going to be a familiar object to most people. Maybe have either something that says PowerPoint, a slide deck, or maybe a laptop with a picture of PowerPoint. So we can go to, this is Leadpages, which I use for everything. And this person is using something called the ropes in the gym. But it's a fitness template, but you don't have to use it as a fitness template. You can do anything. So this is Leadpages, but there are so many ways you can make landing pages. My personal favorite is Leadpages. But I would use something like this. Notice how clear, strong headline, and then maybe a saying here. You can this is designed for something free. You would not have a button, but so what you'd have is a strong headline followed by something underneath. So you would have a strong headline, which was what we talked about. Your strong headline might be something like, why don't lose sales because your PowerPoints are lame, or maybe what's standing between you and $50,000 at your next presentation. And then it could be something like that. And then underneath, where they have the text, you have this. That's very, very compelling to have. Take this, and it goes here. And this, you may or may not, you could leave that out, but you modify it. So if you want to, I would move this over, and you could have a picture over here on the left, or you could switch it, have the picture on the right, but have the picture relate directly to PowerPoint and make it something people can recognize. So I would start with that. I'd get rid of the rest. And then down here, how do you know if your slides are crappy? If your audience responds to the word crappy, go for it. As a copywriter, I'd encourage you to use something more specific, more professional, if you want to say that, but certainly more specific than crappy. Then here, I would get rid of this here. This is quite negative. It doesn't really communicate what I think your stronger message is, which is I love making and using. I would not use the heart unless your audience is particularly receptive to this. Making and using slides. I know how powerful they can be in helping my audience learn. I've spent 10 years studying what makes slides work. And here, this is really good. But instead of saying so many people are getting it wrong, which is very general and vague, and you have something much stronger. What you could do is, instead of saying that, remember where we are, I've spent 10 years studying what makes slides work. And then you come down here and you say, some slides aggravate, frustrate, and confuse or bore your audience. Some enhance the presentation and experience by keeping you and your message center stage. Brilliant. So what you want to do is say, this is what I've learned. I know there's these kinds of slides, these kinds of slides. I can show you how to tell the difference. And then you might have maybe a little bit more, but you don't need to give the full 10-point list. If you do, make it maybe a pop-up, make it something people can click on. Or if you do list the 10, show the benefits. Maybe cut it down. I was going to say cut it down to 5, but I can see where people will pay more for 10. But make them benefits, and maybe make them questions. Something like, will your audience understand your message clearly? Because a confused mind doesn't buy. Number 2, are your bullets and text the right size and density for your audience to grasp quickly when you're moving fast? Because in today's world, they just scan and skim. They don't actually read. And go on down with each of these, you'll have something about a benefit for each of these. Then this, by the way, is a very good testimonial. It refers to a certain type of slides. It's a stronger one than this, so I put it up earlier. This down here is also a good testimonial. Use that. You've got a few good points, some strong testimonials. Then down here, I would say a little more. For this price point, what are they going to get? Tell them more, that they're going to have maybe how many pages, maybe a 10-page report with going over each of these 10 crucial points that I have discovered make the difference between the boring, aggravating slides and the transformational, exciting ones. And you go on about, are you going to throw in a recording of the coaching call? Will there be follow-up? Throw in as much value as you can to make this $4.97 seem cheap. Like, we're getting a bargain. It's only $4.97. And this, I would not put this in italics, but something like available for the first 5 clients only. Your review will be completed in 5 business days from when I receive your slides, or 5 days after. And then how do they do? Give them more of a step-by-step. Do they pay first and then you say, okay, I've got room for you? What is the sequence that they do, that they go through? So I actually have put in some of mine 3 icons, that 1 icon for each step, but you don't have to do all that. Be very specific. This again is a good testimonial. So the bottom line is, you can shorten this, you can be more specific, you can change the image, and you can identify more clearly what the result will be, and even more important, what will the outcome be. After going through this review, your slides won't put people to sleep, they won't be boring, they won't be Me Too slides. They will get people to listen, to engage, and to take action. So be very clear on what you do, what the benefit is, and how you're going to do it. Tell me if this was helpful, and if you have follow-up questions, I'm happy to answer them. Thank you.